I'm David.
I'm Julie.
So now we're going to do the review portion of Patchwork. Hopefully you've had a chance to watch the playthrough and the how to play video. So let's take a look at the overview real quick.
Okay.
So Patchwork is a family abstract game. Number of players is 2. Typically takes 15 to 30 minutes, ages 8 and up. And it says card drafting. It's really tile drafting, but that's how Board Game Geek calls all drafting games, card drafting. Tile placement with a time track, and it's published by Asmodee. Originally published by Mayfair, but Mayfair went out of business and their properties were acquired by Asmodee.
Oh, okay.
So this is part of our project to do videos on the top 100 family games.
Right.
Patchwork happens to be a top 10 family game according to users on Board Game Geek. And behind us is a sample of top 20 games as of August 2019.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so
sorry, I gotta chill.
let's talk about our reasons for what we think of the game.
Okay.
We come up with it separately. This time, Julie inputted hers in first. I did not look at them, and then I put it in mine, and then we'll.
Now we're done.
So we don't confer with each other how we're going to rate it, or what we say about it until we see it basically right now.
Right.
All right. So let's take a look at what you.
Okay.
I'm gonna make sure I go to the right camera. All right, Julie, go ahead.
Well, I think the theme is really fun. I like patchwork quilts, so I like that you feel like you're making a quilt, which is nice. The buttons, excuse me again, are very cute. The artwork is neat with the way the material looks. I am a knitter, so I like yarn and I like cloth, even though I don't know how to sew. I still, respect it.
Yeah.
It's an interesting way to pick up the pieces by having to move the neutral player around, and you get only a few to choose from.
So we still have it set up here from the
Right.
playthrough, how you pick the next 3 pieces in clockwise order. That is a really cool mechanic.
So I thought that was really interesting. I do find it extremely frustrating, and it's frustrating for me because I have a lot of spatial issues. And because of that, this game really I'll get so set on a piece I really, really want, and then he'll come through and take it, and then I'm like, well, damn, what am I supposed to do now? This is crazy. Right. So then I have to totally rethink things, and by then I'm just like, my brain is done.
That, it just made me think of why we prefer to play a game like Blockus. Because Blockus, everybody has the same pieces, has the same set. Mm-hmm. And so there's no tension of stealing a piece that somebody might have,
Correct.
and then you have to make something work that you weren't planning on having. Whereas Blockus, it's pure strategy. There's no luck, but you can still get messed over by players in that game. But everybody starts out with the same pieces. So,
and I do struggle with that one though too.
Yeah, but you would play that one over.
I would play that over this. Exactly.
All right, so let's see what
you have to say for yourself.
What I have to say about the game. All right, so. It's fast play with interesting decisions. The idea that you are going to have to figure out what pieces you want, or do you move forward on the time track to get buttons, and then how you move forward as to try to get that one quilt piece to help fill in things.
Correct.
Are you going to try to go for the 7x7 area? So it has some interesting decisions regarding that, and it's easy to learn. I mean, the rule book is so clear. And Mayfair's usually did a good job with rule books, and this is no exception.
I think this is the one I actually learned how to play on my own.
Yeah, this one is really well done.
Yes, it is.
No complaints.
Nope.
Now, I'm neutral on the spatial advantage because this makes it difficult to play with people, to find people to play with who are not good with spatial reasoning. And so you're going to dominate, and you're going to win. It's no fun. Yeah. Okay? I want to be able to play something where the other players at least have a chance to win. I have a chance to win. Well, I don't care if I win, but it's no fun winning all the time if you're playing against people who are not good with this type of reasoning. I'm not that type of player where I just want to win.
No, you're not. I mean, obviously, if you watch the playthrough, you'll see that he helped me on quite a few of my pieces figure out how to put them where I knew what I wanted, but I didn't know how to exactly put it on my board. Right. And David was very generous in showing me how to put it down. So.
Which ties into the educational connections in mathematics. So this is very much logical mathematical. If you know about the Common Core State Standards, the major principles. One of them is logical mathematical reasoning. This game definitely does that. Also works with geometry, with the spatial reasoning. So if you look at my board here, just putting in the pieces here is spatial reasoning, where with some of these are pentominoes, but you're flipping them and rotating them, which is part of geometry. But then also too, just adding and subtracting buttons is basic addition skills and subtraction.
Right.
So I would recommend this for parents who want to teach geometry and basic math and spatial reasoning, who want to do more than just play blockers. So this is a game to graduate to after blockers if you like those type of games. But it is difficult because it's not an obvious strategy.
No.
So what I mean by that is I'm still having difficulty, and again, I played thousands of games. I'm a game designer.
Yeah.
I've designed games. I've taught people how to design games and blah, blah, blah. Okay, the list goes on. But yet, I'm still having trouble figuring out the best strategy where you fill up your board as much as possible, because remember, every space you don't have left is minus 2 points. So I'm trying to think here on the track around here, how do you do that without ending the game too soon and still fill in these spaces? So I'm still trying to figure out the best way to do that. And we've played this about a half dozen times. And usually you can get a strategy after the first couple times you play a game. So, but maybe this is why this game is so well rated, is that some people really enjoy that aspect of it.
That could be.
But, it is what it is. I just find it interesting that it's that elusive. All right, so let's see how we rate it according to the Board Game Geek 1 through 10 scale.
All right.
So here we go.
I did mediocre.
So take or leave it. That makes sense for you because of the spatial issue. There's other games that have spatial reasoning you'd rather play.
Yes.
Because like I said, this game is more competitive than others because you can take pieces and kind of mess with people's plans.
Right.
All right, for me it's a 6.5, meaning that I'll play it if in the mood and usually willing to play. I'm kind of in between because I know Julie's not going to play it that often. Even though it's a two-player game, we love two-player games.
We do.
But it's not a two-player game that she's going to go to, so it would be rare that she'd pick it. And because I know that I'd have to find probably other people to play with.
Right.
So, still a great game. I can see why this is a top 10, I mean, or at least top 100. I take that back. I don't see why it's a top 10.
I definitely don't.
Because I think Blockus is a better game. Someday we'll do our top abstract games or our top 100 games. I mean, Julie's top 100 is going to be different than my top 100. So Julie tends to rate games lower than me. Because
I'd rather play Azul than this.
Yeah, I agree.
I would play Azul over Blockus.
No, Azul is a top 10.
Yes.
Okay. But, again, I guess because people like Uwe Rosenberg so much, it's probably moved up. Because people will buy just his game.
Okay.
Because he's such a popular designer.
I see.
So probably more people own this game, and therefore they've rated it higher, and it's moved up more on the family game track.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Whereas other abstract games have other people or other, maybe people don't own those as much because it's not by a popular designer.
Mm-hmm.
So look, I agree it should be on the top 100 family game list.
Sure.
I just really wonder, is it really the best game to be on the top 10 when people with spatial reasoning are going to have trouble with this, or because of how competitive it is?
Yeah.
I mean, for instance, if you're playing with an 8-year-old and you're 40 years old or 37-year-old, you're going to beat the 8-year-old.
Not necessarily.
Probably.
I don't know if I would.
Well, the point is, I really wonder if that's going to happen, where you have a game like Blockus, young kids will win at that game.
Mm-hmm.
And if you play a game like Set Game, which you use in gifted education all the time, kindergartners will beat adults in that game.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? So, in my opinion, a family game, and we'll talk more about this after we do the whole 100, it should be that the family can be equally competitive. And I'm not one of those parents, and I suggest never doing this as a parent, letting a child win.
No.
Okay? Now, you can give a child an advantage at the beginning of the game, and the child knows that.
Right.
But don't totally, on purpose,
not take something.
Right, not do something to make the child feel better.
Right.
Children need to know how to be able to deal with sportsmanship and losing.
That's right.
And over time they will. But anyway, that's a different topic as well. Anyways, that's Patchwork.